Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I have the most amazing guest here today. I'm so excited to share her with you. Now, if you're here at the Heal Your Hunger podcast for the first time, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. You know, if you're somebody who struggles with food and weight, and it's been a struggle for a long, long time, decades even, as it was for me and with so many of my clients, you're in the right place, because here's where you stop struggling. Because guess what? We don't talk about diets here. We don't talk about calories. We don't talk about all that managing of the weight and the food. We go deeper. So if you're really wanting a fresh new perspective, the Heal Your Hunger show is going to bring that to you on all the underlying emotional issues that drive us to the refrigerator time and time again. So glad that you made it here to the show. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm really grateful that you're here again. Also, if you have not yet joined us in the Secret Sauce group, that's where we are actually filming and recording this. Okay, so you're missing out if you're not in the Secret Sauce group. Go to Facebook and type in the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating, and that's where I interview so many of my guests. And you can ask questions and you can comment like real time as we do these recordings. So love to have you join us there. Plus, you're the first to know about all the really cool things that we do and fun things that we have coming up. So be the first to know and join us in the Secret Sauce group. And lastly, if you're not sure if you're an emotional eater, I talk a lot about emotional eating. That's really my jam. You can actually take a quiz to find out if you're an emotional eater or a food addict. So go to healyourhunger.com and just take the quiz. It's like 3 minutes. So take the quiz and you'll find out immediately whether you're an emotional eater or a food addict or somewhere in between and what to do about it. So be sure to take that quiz and get your score. Now, I want to just tell you what I'm doing in this show today. You're getting 2 shows for the price of 1. And what I mean by that is that I interview my good friend, Robin Nielsen, who is a magician when it comes to restoring hormone health. And she has an upcoming program that I wanted you to know about. So I interview her in the first segment about her upcoming 15-day hormone reset. So we talk all about that. But because it's sort of promotional, meaning we want you to go through that process, it's so good. And it's only it's under $50. It's a crazy price. But I wanted you to have access and to know about it. But I didn't want this podcast to be all about a promotion of her program. So I also attached to it a segment, which is my previous interview with her in the past, where we go into more detail about hormone health. So you get 2 episodes for the price of 1 here. And that is to really understand about what you need for hormone health, delivered by my good friend, amazing, amazing woman and healer, Robin Nielsen. So enjoy the shows. Thanks so much. Let's dig into it. What are the symptoms that a woman might have that would make her say, I think I might have some hormonal things going on?
You know what's so interesting is that when I list the hormones that we're going to reset in 15 days, the 6 hormones, women really resonate with that. Like, that's been our most popular Facebook ad, which tells me that women really, they might not know exactly what's going on, but they know that it's hormonal. You know, every single woman at some point in time experiences symptoms of hormonal imbalance. It's just, kind of how we roll. And it's really, getting our hormones to a place that they're more balanced more of the time, so that we feel better more of the time. And so some of the symptoms are things like, in this program specifically, my whole thing is, weight loss. It's eliminating anxiety and boosting immunity. And what really happens is that, when your body starts to get healthier, all sorts of crazy, amazing things happen. And we basically have pages and pages of testimonials now from women who did our very first 15-day hormone reset. And the changes were incredible. And what's so cool is that is that over 15 days, you can reset the 6 hormones, which are progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, insulin, cortisol, and your thyroid hormones, right? Getting your thyroid functioning again. So it's a true metabolic reset. And some of the symptoms that you might be experiencing, where you might not know if this is right for you, are, well, I spoke of anxiety, a sluggish metabolism, where no matter what you try, you can't release the weight, depression, where your moods are just lower. So anxiety, interestingly enough, although you feel kind of on edge, it's actually considered a lower mood. So anxiety, depression, brain fog, lack of mental clarity, fatigue, whatever level that is for you. So it might be exhaustion. It might just be that you're unmotivated and are having a really hard time getting through the day. Poor sleep, insulin resistance, hirsutism. So where you're growing that dark, coarse, terminal hair in places where you don't want it, right? It's kind of that male pattern hair growth, or hair loss. Like hair loss is such a big deal for so many women. So those are all hormonal issues, and PMS, your irregular menstrual cycles, infertility. I mean, you name it. If you're experiencing it, it's related to hormones, because hormones are the cellular communicators in our bodies, right? They're what they tell everything else in your body what to do. And it's when you are in hormone harmony that things work well and you feel more and more fabulous.
So when if there's something off, if you're feeling funky or funked out, or you just don't have your mojo, whatever that looks like, it's basically, I mean, it's so true. Like hormones are so powerful, aren't they? Like when they're working, we feel good and on our dime. And when they're not working, we just can't get it together.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing how with just these simple rules. So it's 15 days, which is a little bit of a haul. I show up for 15 days, teaching this. So I'm not.
It's a good thing you're so beautiful, because I think people would be like, whoa, but it's like, you're so lovely to look at, and you always have cool like earrings and stuff like that. So
just copying you, sister. So it's profound, because when we want to feel better, it takes conscientiousness. It takes paying attention every single day, like you teach in your program. It's not like you can sometimes take care of yourself and sometimes not. So I teach 15 guided practices over 15 days. And, you might ask, well, can I do this if I've had a hysterectomy? Can I do this program if I'm postmenopause? Can I do this program, if I'm on certain medications or certain hormones? And the answer is always yes. So no matter, how old you are, or no matter what your symptoms are, this program is amazing, because we don't do anything other than adjust some of the things that you're currently doing. So to be in hormonal balance, you have to follow certain rules. And one of the reasons why I adore Tricia is because she talks about not dieting.
Yes.
And it's really important if you want to be healthy to stop the vicious dieting cycle. And so this program is a no dieting program.
Woo! Full endorsement from me.
Yeah, so we don't do any dieting. And I just show you, like, each day, one more thing that you can take action on that will help you balance your hormones. And it was so amazing. Women are coming out of the woodwork to share their incredible wins during the program that I had no idea were so profound. So when you first join the program, and by the way, it is affordable for every single woman. So there's no reason why you wouldn't join in if you really want to become the CEO of your own health.
Amen.
Because a lot of the symptoms that I talked about, there is no medical solution. So you're going to keep struggling year after year after year unless you take charge of your health. And it's not hard to do. I show you how step by step. And these are just, the rules of hormone balance that I teach. It's kind of what your body would like to tell you if it could talk.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you're helping people tune into that, because our bodies will tell us. Our bodies are very intelligent and they are speaking to us all the time. The question is, are we listening? So I love that you're helping people tune into that. So some of the things you talk about, just your mood, improving your sleep, improving digestion, your skin. I mean, these so many things that you mentioned here, weight, inflammation, water retention. If any of these things are an issue for you, definitely check out Robin's challenge. It's so beautiful, and I attended last time and I just loved it so much. So the reason why I'm bringing her here to talk about this is literally less than $50, okay, so to go through this 15-day journey with Robin. So that's what's so amazing is like she said, it's super affordable, and we want you to get this support. So definitely go to the show notes and find that URL, or go, if you're in the secret sauce, I've already posted that URL so you can join and just enjoy it. It's a really fun journey. Robin makes it really fun. But I know there are little, holes in people's health that need to be plugged. And that's what dealing with these 6 hormones is really going to do for you. So Robin, thanks for talking about this. I really appreciate it. I know we've just really talked about this specifically, and you've been on my show before, so we've gotten into a lot, other issues around hormones and different symptoms and that kind of thing. But I just really think it's important for people to have directly this information, and that they join you so they know what it's all about and can get, just start feeling better now.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a wonderful foundational program. If you've, wanted to pull all the pieces together, maybe you've been dabbling in taking supplements, maybe you've tried every single diet out there. Maybe you've done programs before, but you're confused, because it's so confusing. A lot of the participants said it was such a beautiful program because it just pulled all those pieces together and made it really simple. And that's how I roll. It's really simple. So you really can reset 6 hormones in 15 days. We take a complete hormone assessment. Actually, we're going to take that next Monday, or, the week before we start. And then you take it again at the end, and you'll be so amazed at the changes in those 6 hormones. It's really incredible. So I hope to see you in the program. It just might be my honor to support you.
Beautiful. Well, thanks so much, Robin, and I'll definitely be there as well. So, so I appreciate that you're even doing this. It's a lot. It's a lot for people to attend for 15 days, but think about you. It's a lot for you to host for 15 days. I'm always like, how does she do it? It's like, oh, that's those supplements that she's figured out.
But the energy in the group is so incredible. I mean, you saw it last time.
Yeah.
It is a love fest. So
yes.
if you just need some love, oh my gosh, it's a wonderful place to be. So I hope to see you there, and just sending you so much love.
Thank you, Robin. And thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take good care. And now on to my amazing guest, whom I adore so much. She's a very dear friend and such a gentle soul. I love this woman. Robin Nielsen. Hey, Robin.
Hey, it's so great to be here with you.
Have you. For those of you who don't know Robin, she's a functional clinical nutritionist and hormone expert with over 15 years of clinical experience. She specializes in hormone balance, helping women to grow younger no matter what their age. She's currently working on her amazing book called, get this, Eat More, Exercise Less, The Secret to Hormone Balance. I cannot wait to read that. Robin, I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Yay, it's so great to be here. And I can't believe you're going to have 200 episodes. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
I know. How did that happen? It's the coolest thing. And I'm just so grateful to everybody who tunes in every week. I mean, we've got some really cool shows, and I've got some great feedback. And the most important thing is I love doing it. I just love carrying the message about how to overcome emotional eating and stop the merry-go-round with food. So you and I have done a class together on cravings because we both, you know, we both are so passionate about helping people overcome cravings, losing weight in a natural, effortless way. And we come at it from different standpoints. So that's why it's so fun working together. And I'm just excited to have you here and tell us about, you know, what it takes to heal your hormones. How'd you get into this?
Oh gosh, well, I felt old when I was young. So that's my, you know, my whole mission in helping women feel so much better is that in my 20s, I felt old. Like I felt much older than I feel now. Like I feel better now than I ever have, right? I'm in my 50s, although I'm
you are seriously getting younger every time I see you. For those of you listening, Robin is this gorgeous, Northern European looking blonde, and she is, I happen to know, is so athletic. She's on the tennis court every other day, and on every other day she's on the surfboard with her husband, and she is just a healthy eater. I've eaten out of her garden, you know, a meal's cooked from her garden, and so she is living it. I mean, she's walking her talk. Back to you, Robin.
Well, you know, I had a rough start. So, you know, when it goes all the way back to when I was a baby, I had food intolerances, but, you know, then they kind of kept morphing, and, you know, I had bad acne. And so it started in my teens and it just kept going. And I was bound and determined to figure out why it was happening and to clear up my skin and have beautiful skin. I had acne on my face, my chest, and my back, and it was really debilitating. You know, I felt a lot of shame and embarrassment. And I spent a lot of time hiding out. And, you know, if you're someone who's ever suffered from acne, you know that, you know, you have to choose your clothes wisely. Like I could never wear a scoop neck shirt or anything low in the back. And, you know, I was always putting makeup on to cover the blemishes on my skin. And I could gain 5 pounds in a day for no good reason. And I had arthritic symptoms in my hands in my 20s. So all these kind of weird things were happening. You know, my digestion was bad. I had receding gums, so my teeth were super sensitive. Like the thought of biting into an ice cream cone or an ice cream would just send, you know, chills down my spine. Like just all sorts of things were kind of sideways for me. My moods were horrible. I was super irritable. Very rarely, you know, was I in a good mood. And it was just, you know, uncomfortable being me. But I didn't know it. You know, we don't know kind of how bad we feel until, you know, we start to feel better.
Right. Yeah. So what was the upshot? Like, what was causing all that?
So there are a lot of underlying hormone deal breakers, are what I call them. So we can definitely talk about those, and that's why, you know, I really like the concept of eat more, exercise less.
Yeah, me too.
When you talk to my clients, you know, it's really funny. I have them on some of my my trainings, and I'll say, so, you know, what is it that you're doing to release those, you know, 45, 50 pounds? And they say, well, not a whole lot, right? I'm not really doing anything. I'm getting a lot of good sleep. I'm eating more than I ever have. I really toned down on my exercise. And so that's kind of become my theme, because as women, we learn to over exercise and undereat. Like that was definitely my MO. So if I gained weight, I would just stop eating.
So why is that? Like, why would that make you gain weight? Because it does seem counterintuitive.
Why wouldn't that make you gain weight?
Why would over-exercising and under-eating backfire on you?
So that's a great question. So what happens is we become really great counters, right? We either count calories, or we count points, or we count carbs. I mean, we're always counting something. And, you know, when you're younger, the whole starving thing, right? Starving yourself and over-exercising can work. But for some of us, even when we're younger, even though we can still bounce back pretty quickly, for some of us, it can set our metabolism into further dysfunction. So you basically have a dysfunctional metabolism when you can gain weight so easily like I could. When you have like brain fog, and when you have, you know, poor moods or irritability or anxiety or any of that. Let's see. So when you have a lot of fatigue or low energy, So there are three things that I call it kind of the hormone trifecta that happens, which is you start gaining weight for no good reason. You know, your mood sort of goes sideways, so you either suffer from depression or anxiety, and then sorry, it moods, and then you start packing on the belly fat. So it's your, you know, your metabolism is dysfunctional, so you start packing on belly fat. You have depression or anxiety, and your energy is in the tank. So that's kind of the hormone trifecta that happens, and then from that you know, may experience a lot of other symptoms.
Gotcha. And so tell me about the, you know, eat more, exercise less program.
Like, I want that.
I know other people want to know, so let's hear about it.
So what that means is really, is you have to stop being the hibernating bear. So the hibernating bear, if you can picture this bear, right, there are no resources around for the bear. So what that means is there's no food, there's very little water, there's no sunlight. So the bear actually goes and hibernates for the winter when there are no resources around for it to function optimally. And so the hibernating bear is in its cave and it's sleeping. And what happens is its metabolism actually goes down to the very lowest point it can to keep it alive. So basically its thyroid is just barely functioning, right? And that's because it doesn't have many resources to use. So it has to slow everything down so that it can hang in there basically until springtime comes and there's more food around. Okay. And so we become that hibernating bear.
Yeah, okay, that's the eat less, exercise more scenario.
Well, that's the hibernating bear happens when we start restricting calories.
Okay.
When we start restricting carbs. So we tend to, as women, we tend to really deprive ourselves over and over again. I had one client who actually worked out in the gym for 2 hours every day because she was told that she'd be able to lose the 70 pounds that she had gained from all the different birth controls that she'd been put on to manage her symptoms, and from, you know, just incredible hormone imbalance and, you know, a metabolism that had pretty much shut down. And so she was in the gym exercising for 2 hours every day, and she would watch her clock because it was torture. And she would say, oh, I can't leave yet. I have, you know, 5 more minutes. And what happened for her was that the weight just kept packing on. It didn't come off. So when your metabolism is broken, you have to get healthy to lose weight. You cannot lose weight to get healthy. And that's a that's really, if you think about it, a huge mindset shift, because we're told oftentimes by our doctor to just lose weight and all of our symptoms will improve. And that's absolutely not true.
Okay. The way you're explaining it, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It's absolutely not true. If we could, if we could just lose weight, we would. But if you're continuing to be the hibernating bear and you're counting those calories and probably making poor food choices because you're only going by the caloric content, right? So it's a donut versus a chicken breast, and they both have the same calories, but one is going to cause, you know, hormonal chaos, and the other is going to cause just this, you know, this fantastic balance, right? The chicken breast is going to give you really nice, sustained energy, help you build amazing brain chemistry, help to build muscle, help you to stay more balanced. Whereas the donut, you know, within 15 minutes, you're going to feel like crap. You're going to have this huge, you know, insulin, blood sugar surge, and you're going to feel really, really happy while you're eating the donut, and perhaps 5 or 10 minutes after, and then you're going to have a huge drop in blood sugar and you're going to feel horrible. So there's this hormonal response that happens when we eat, and that's the mistake that we make around making our food choices, is that we we're basically telling our body how to respond hormonally every time we eat. So I really love the concept of eat more, because that's what I'm told when people join my program, is that they actually eat way more than they ever have, and their body gets healthy, and then they're able to start releasing weight. And actually, weight loss, or as I like to call it, weight release, because if we lose it, we want to find it again. So we're not going to find it again. But actually what happens is it's a side benefit of getting healthy. It no longer is your focus, right? Your focus is feeling happy, energized, kind of sexy, no matter what your size. And then you just notice that all of a sudden your clothes start fitting looser. You know, all these really cool things start happening. And one of my clients, I talked to her today actually, and she's released 50 pounds since August, and she has been like not trying.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You know, and so it's really like it's exercising so that it fits where your hormones are.
Yeah.
Where your body reserve is right now. It's not exercising for where you want to be. It's exercising for what you can do right now. And it's eating to replace all those resources, the vitamins, the minerals, the proteins, fats, and carbs that your body has to have to be healthy.
Beautiful. I love it. It's a great way of explaining it. It makes so much sense. And it's the compassionate, you know, it's a self-loving, compassionate plan. You know, instead of being at war with our bodies, trying to force it to do what we think it should do, we're working with our bodies, giving our bodies what it actually needs, and then it will comply, you know, and in turn, you know, help us in weight loss, but at the right time with the right resources.
Yeah, because we're so busy depriving ourselves, and that's no fun. You know, that makes life no fun. And I am all about yummy, delicious food, right? I mean, we get to eat 3 times a day. And it's such a blessing. Like, we're so blessed to be able to have this beautiful food and this gorgeous meal to enjoy. And it heals and nourishes us. And we've become so afraid of food. I used to be so afraid to eat.
Right. Yeah. No, it's so true. I totally relate to that. And I know so many people listening will as well. It's like food was the enemy. It was going to overtake us. You know, it was going to sabotage us. And we, you know, best, I used to feel like, God, if I could just skip lunch, like lunch was such a bother to me. And if I could just skip it, I'd be doing so much better. But of course, anytime I tried that, I'd end up binging, you know, from 5 o'clock on, and never worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, talk to me about some of the, you know, in terms of energy. Some, you know, people complain about lack of energy. What's that caused by?
So energy is it's the same reason that we start packing on fat. So that's what happens when our metabolism is dysfunctional or broken. It's not functioning properly, is that, you know, we tend to gain belly fat, we tend to get depressed or anxious or both. That's very common to be both. And then we tend to have very low energy, even brain fog, like, you know, really kind of debilitating fatigue. And it's really due to what I call the hormone deal breakers. And I can just list a few hormone deal breakers so that you get a sense of what they are. But the way I look at hormones is, you know, when we talk hormones, we automatically think of our sex hormones, because that's just kind of where our brain goes. So we think of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. But actually the hormones that have an impact on our sex hormones and actually kind of decide whether we make our sex hormones or not are the two big hormones, which you really have to be paying attention to way more than your sex hormones, are insulin and cortisol.
Okay.
And cortisol is our stress hormone. It's our fight or flight hormone. It's our daytime hormone that gives us energy. And insulin is our hormone that our pancreas makes that unlocks our cells to get sugar from our blood into our cells to burn for fuel. So that's what gives us our good energy. But when our metabolism isn't working well anymore, we're insulin resistant. So we can no longer get the sugar into our cells to burn for fuel. So we store it as fat. And that's when we get tired because we can no longer get that blood sugar into our cells. So it all works together. So you have to be really aware of what those hormone deal breakers are, and they're things that cause stress to your body. So anything that raises cortisol is going to raise insulin. And anytime insulin is elevated chronically over time, we're going to gain weight, we're going to become tired, and we're going to get anxious and depressed, plus a whole bunch of other things. So we could even grow facial hair. We could lose our hair loss. We could get acne for the first time in our lives if we have elevated cortisol and insulin over time, because insulin will push that more potent testosterone pathway that causes acne, hair loss, and facial hair. So it's kind of a crazy thing that happens when insulin and cortisol are elevated over time. So what you want to do is look at what those underlying hormone deal breakers are, and I'll just give you a few of them. Is that okay?
Please.
So the first one is what you eat, the type of the meal composition, so how your proteins, fats, and carbs are combined, and the timing of your meals. So all of those things have a huge impact. What you eat, the timing, and your meal composition of how it impacts your hormones. The second huge stressor that can raise cortisol and insulin is nutrient deficiencies. So if you think about that hibernating bear, she's really deficient in nutrients, right? Because she's not taking anything in. So it's the nutrients, the vitamins and minerals, that actually run every reaction in our bodies. So they build bone, they help our liver function, they help us to build muscle, they help us to have happy brain chemistry. Like, they do it all. So without those nutrients, you're gonna raise your stress hormone cortisol, and you're gonna raise insulin. So you just have this pattern that just keeps going. The third thing is movement. So over exercising is a huge stressor. So if your body is in a hibernating bear place, you cannot over exercise. It'll just take you down. Number 4 is, I like to say test, don't guess. I think that's a really great concept, because when you look at your test results, when you run the right blood work and you actually look at it from an optimal health perspective, so you compare your numbers to optimal reference ranges, not sick people laboratory reference ranges, you can actually start to look at your lab work for health instead of disease. So in our Western medicine model, we're looking for disease, right? And frankly, we don't care about disease. In this model of health, we care about constantly moving towards numbers of people who feel better and live longer. So it's so cool when you test, you can look at systems instead of looking at disease to see some of those underlying hormone deal breakers just from blood work, like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You know, elevated liver enzymes can be a huge stressor on your body. Chronic infections, right? Anemias, iron, or B12, you can see on your blood work. It's so cool. Vitamin D, like low vitamin D levels, huge stressor. So those are some of the things that when you work with, the right healthcare practitioner, you can really get so much fantastic information from blood work that you've been told for years and years is fine, right? You go into the doctor and you have all these problems and they say, oh, you're fine. And you're like, hell no.
Right. Yeah, I don't feel so fine. Come on, doc.
Yeah, so now you can start gleaning some pretty amazing things from your blood work that are identifying those hormone deal breakers that can really help you. And so those are just a few. I have a big list.
I know you do. You deliver such amazing content. I always love tuning into your talks on Facebook and just the amazing information. You really are a wealth of information. So thanks for sharing those here, though. Those are something we can take a bite out of and chew on, so to speak, pardon the pun. So it's great to hear you, Robin. And I'd love to, I know you have a way for people to start right away to really start feeling better. You want to share your gift with people?
Yes, I'm so excited to share an amazing training that I did. It's so fantastic. It's actually 5 secrets to rock your metabolism, energy, and moods. And I cannot wait to share it with you. It's actually 5 separate trainings. I think one of the things that I like the best about it is that each section has an assessment. So you can kind of take the assessment, see where you are, and then, get some amazing tips for how to alter what's going on with you right now, and then some great next steps. So, I review 5 things. So the first training is eat more, exercise less. The second secret is stress resilience. So important to understand how your adrenals are functioning and how that plays into your hormone balance. And the third one is detox rocks. So it's basically clearing your clutter for hormone balance. And you'll see why it's so incredibly important. And training number 4 is all about sleeping your way to the top of hormone balance. Yeah. And why sleep is critical, and the right kind of sleep, unmedicated sleep, for rocking your hormones. And then the 5th training is all about the magic of nutrients and why they're so incredibly important. And then I actually share a few nutrients, some of my favorites, and the amazing, amazing things they do.
Love it. Wow, that's really rich. So thank you so much for offering that. Guys, you can go to the show notes and pick that up. So we're going to put that link for you in the show notes, and you can get the 5 secrets to rock your metabolism, energy, and mood. So Robin, thank you so much. I love it. And I just love the information you share. And you are a living, breathing, shining example of the beautiful work that you do and the healing you've experienced and help other women to experience. Can you share, this is my final question for you. Can you share, since it is the Heal Your Hunger show, what is your deepest hunger?
Oh, okay. That's easy.
Okay, good.
It's really easy. My deepest hunger, it's going to make me cry. My deepest hunger is teaching every single woman how to become the CEO of her own health so she can rock her health and her life, because it's all in here. We're constantly looking out there for someone to heal us. And I want every single woman to know that she's got it right here.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love that. And you've got it, girl. And everybody listening, connect with Robin, because she can definitely help you just up level your health so quickly and heal your hormones. So thank you, darling. I love you. Love you so much. Thanks for being here. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And please join us over at the Heal Your Hunger Tribe on Facebook. Love you so much. We'll see you on the next show.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.